When we talk about a Frankenstein chain, we're referring to a bespoke signal path built by stitching together specialized individual modules to emulate various stages of analog processing. Rather than using an all-in-one saturation or mastering plugin, this approach involves selecting specific tools for distinct tasks. One for transformer style weight, another for second harmonic bloom, and others to manage how transients interact with the high frequency ceiling. By combining these independent mathematical personalities, you can shape the audio's texture and dynamics in a way that is highly specific to the mix, effectively building a custom virtual circuit from the ground up. I'm working off of bits and pieces of prepared script here to streamline the time function. So when I hit pause, it's because I have to hit pause. Be right back. Okay, the Frankenstein chain, mastering with zero gain reduction. Introduction, the philosophy. In this video, we're looking at a custom 48 kilohertz mastering chain I've dubbed Frankenstein. The goal is to reach a competitive loudness of minus 13 LUFS integrated without ever actually limiting the signal in the traditional sense. We are using a series of specialized Airwindows saturation modules to massage the waveform so that it hits the ceiling naturally. I'm not sure if that's the right word, naturally. It's wave shaping. Okay, the breakdown, the saturation block. So we've got 6 modules in this Frankenstein chain. Neverland, Sweeten, Coils, Spiral 2, Density, and Purest Warm 2, all from the Airwindows Consolidated Toolkit. So the roles respectively: foundation, octave weight, core character, the grip, definition, and the silk. Okay. And then you can pause this and read the descriptions of those stage roles at your leisure. Okay, but I'll go ahead and read through the last paragraph there. The interactive massage, how it works. The secret here is how these plugins interact. By the time the signal passes through Sweeten and Coils, we've built up a strong, even order harmonic structure. Spiral 2 and Density then act as soft limiters. Instead of a digital wall, they round off the peaks into musical harmonics. Essentially, we are trading peak headroom for harmonic density. By massaging the peaks into curves before they reach the final stage, we change the shape of the audio itself. Okay, going to pause again, be right back. Here is the chain from top left to bottom right. Neverland, Sweeten, Coils, Spiral 2, Density, Purest Warm. Okay, enough of that. That's the first block in the mastering chain, right after the console emulator handshake, console 8. This is the 5 kilohertz sine wave through said mastering chain. We've got our Neverland shag floor, shag carpet on the bottom. We've got a resonant spike at 5 kilohertz. We've got a nice second harmonic spike at 10. And then we've got a spike of lesser amplitude, third harmonic, odd order at 15. Okay. So I've done my hygiene protocols. That's what I want it to look like. Okay. And again, that's just me. But that's what I want it to look like. Okay. And so now I'll go ahead and turn the oscillator off. Get this out of the way. And I just have a few other remarks to go over before I hit play on this. So back in a flash. Okay, so here it is in a nutshell. I'm a minimalist when it comes to compression. I use it mainly to control peak energy. I favor a more naturalistic sort of soundstage. And I often don't like what compression does to transients and especially micro transients and just psychoacoustic effects that it has. So, and also this vocalist, Brian, whose album I'm working on, he has a very fierce resonant spike at 4 kilohertz in his voice, and it's very difficult to tame. And I reach I apply some dynamic EQ with TDR Nova, but there's a limit to that beyond which I don't want to go. And even after I hit that limit, and I got everything else sorted out, I still get his voice triggering the limiter more than I would like. I just get more. It's not continuous gain reduction. It's spikes of gain reduction, but they're deeper spikes than I would like. Okay. And so that's what led to this Frankenstein chain. So with that said, I'm just going to get out of the way and hit play. And I'd like you to have a look at, I'm using Tone Boosters Barricade V4, version 4. All right. And as I play through the song, just watch the Barricade readout.
The SSB recruited me to dispatch and ride the secret line. Washington to Richmond, hidden by friends in old gold mines. I didn't know I'd meet a gal that cut her hair, wearing gray, fighting a war, riding her mare. She followed me into the fray of the spy game. We married in a war-torn evening rain. We rose from the ashes, carrying letters we held. Our mission was clear in the wilderness where we dwelled. We'd ride all day, sometimes through the night, making love when we rested by campfire light. It wasn't supposed to end this way. I went to your family with your blood-soaked babe, buried you and retired her that day. Rose sent you on a suicide mission and to an early grave. I followed you into a battle between blue and gray. Before we knew it, a bullet found its way into your chest. I was left alone to carry all the love we professed. I draped your lifeless body over your steed, leading you both back home with me. We rose from the ashes, carrying letters we held. Our mission was clear in the wilderness where we dwelled. We'd ride all day, sometimes through the night, making love when we rested by campfire light. It wasn't supposed to end this way. I went to your family with your blood-soaked babe, buried you and retired her that day. Buried you and retired her that day.
So you might have noticed that where there otherwise would have been clipping along this orange line here, we've got minus 0.00 GR. That's because of the wave shaping of the Frankenstein saturation stage. So the other thing that you might have noticed is how the I think the vocal sits back a little bit too much during that final swell, the final third of the song or so. So that's going to be I'm going to get into that starting in the next video. I'm not done with this yet. I'm not totally happy with it. This mix has given me a lot of headaches. A lot of some mixes are that way. You know, they're like kids. Everyone's different. Sometimes they're ornery and recalcitrant. So yeah, that's the Frankenstein chain. That's the song. It's called Blood Soaked Bay. It's about a married couple who were spies for the Confederate Secret Service Bureau during the American Civil War. And, right. So I'm going to be back with a follow-up video where I'm going to talk about Airwindows meter and a follow-up video to that. This will be like a little 3-part mini-series. Thank you for watching and listening. If you find this information helpful in any way, please do like and subscribe. And don't be afraid to reach out to me in the new community section that channels have now. You know, it's like DMs. That's why I don't put my email address in the channel description. And we're going to kind of get into why I originally called this channel Vinyl something. So that's it for now. From lovely scenic Paju City, South Korea. May the winds of clarity ever blow in your favor. Over and out.